So I'm officially on leave, and today is the day that my husband and I are going away for a few days on a holiday that we haven't had in over a year since we bought our house because we've been, spending so much money just doing things up and getting the house ready for my mom and her husband to move in with us, which they have now done. And so this is the short holiday that if you saw my breakdown video where I just kind of had enough stress from work and home life and finances really got to me. Anyway, so this is the holiday that I need, but I couldn't afford. But we're going forward with it anyway. I mean, when I say couldn't afford, I mean, I know like you could be watching the saying like there's so many people that can't afford holidays, you know. The fact that I get to go on one is something that so many people don't get, and I agree. I am very grateful for this, and it's not. But I'm not talking about an expensive like holiday. It's not like we're going to Spain, or anything like that. We are just driving down. It's a 3-hour drive to Bantry in County Cork, and when I say like couldn't afford it, also this isn't a holiday that's thousands of euros. I'm literally talking about 450 euro, and that's for 5 days and 4 nights. So it is a decent length, break getaway. It's not that expensive, but it's expensive for me at this time in my life purely because there's just been so many things that have needed to get paid for, and managed to throw this onto the credit card. I kind of had to weigh up the pros and cons, like I don't want to put the financial pressure on myself, but at the same time it was a case of my husband and I really need this. He is also frustrated at work just with the way things. I mean, he's got a fantastic boss, absolutely great boss. It's just purely just with regards to just finding out how about certain jobs that he's got to go to and whatnot, and just it's not well planned, so that kind of frustrates him. And for me, like staying at home's not an option. Like I said, my mom and her husband moved to come live with us 3 months ago now, and we need to get away. We need time away from home. I also I hybrid work, so I work in the office and I work from home. I can't holiday and be at home, a place where I also sometimes work, where there are other people here. I don't get to relax. I need to get away. So it was just a matter of, listen, let's just bite the bullet. We'll just tighten the belt a bit, and we'll just take this. And it's just going to be a very chilled, relaxed holiday. Normally, I have things planned of when we go away. Like I have a look at tourist attractions and let's go here, let's do this. I have done none of that this time. For me, it's a matter of if we just go there and we sleep in late and we just pretty much just go for a walk during the day, that's enough for me. So I'm busy getting ready now. I'm trying to pack. Not easy because I think guys can just like throw one pair of underwear and a pair of socks and a t-shirt into a bag and they're good to go. Not with me. I stress about the what ifs. What if we want to go on a hike? Do I need to take hiking boots? What if it gets too hot? Do I need to take sandals? Do I need to take a dress? I've got shorts. I've got a gazillion t-shirts because I'm like one for each day. But then also, what if I miss something on a shirt? Or, what if something else happens? What if I miss on a shirt 2 days in a row? If I got extra shirts? Am I the only one? Or is this a girl thing? I don't know. Anyway, so I need to actually hurry up. It is now 9 a.m. Check-in time is 4 p.m., which I think is actually kind of late for a check-in time. I think I'm used to like 3 p.m. in the past. So I need to just get a move on. We want to just take a nice casual drive down to Bantry, and yeah. And here I am, sitting, wasting time. talking to you. Not that you're not special, you're very special. All right, let's get started. Well, let's carry on. So I have got so many books that I buy that I never get around to reading because there's just no time. There's just always stuff to do. I want to try and use this as an opportunity to at least start on some books. I've chosen these 2 books. This one I actually didn't buy. The Necessity of Reforming the Church. This was given to me by my church as a gift when I became a member there. And this one is a book on the King James Only Controversy by James White. And so I'm going to see if I can start both of these while we're away. As you can tell, I enjoy theology. This is one of the things that is a hobby in a way. I don't know if hobby is the right word. I'm more passionate about it than just a hobby. But this is also, I think it's very important to try and keep your mind sharp with doing things. I mean, some people do it with puzzles and games, which I also enjoy, but I think it's also good to also look at other things. You don't have to know everything, but sometimes it's nice when you kind of delve deeply into a certain area. Theology is one of the areas that I like to delve into. So let's see if I can get started on these 2 books this week. And so our journey finally ended at this adorable little accommodation. We immediately proceeded to obviously unpack the van with everything that we had taken with. And I'm the sort of person who, when I am staying somewhere on holiday, I need to make sure that everything is unpacked, including my clothes. Because when I'm somewhere and I'm living out of a suitcase, it always feels like I'm getting ready to go. And for me, it's a matter of if all my stuff is unpacked, it makes me feel more settled and I feel more rested. I don't like feeling like I'm constantly getting ready to go because nothing has left my suitcase because it's all still, sitting in there and I'm just kind of living out of it. And for me, I just want to feel rested. I want to feel like this is home for the next couple of days. So once we had all the bags inside, the next thing to do was to have a nice, relaxing cup of coffee. I'm trying to eliminate having caffeine in coffee after 9 a.m. where possible. So I use 2 different types of coffee. There is the organic caffeinated coffee and the organic decaffeinated coffee. So after this trip, I made us a nice cup of decaffeinated coffee because we arrived here at about 3 p.m. And I prefer not to have caffeine in my system where possible to see if it can help improve on my sleep. We left home fairly late and the trip took just over 3 hours to get there. So we decided not to go out after this and rather spend time just chatting, having our coffee with some South African Omaras and unpacking everything else. So it was a very nice, fairly relaxed afternoon. And look at me go. I even managed to get started on one of the 2 books that I took along with me. I was determined to get started on these books. I didn't want to be one of those people who take books on holiday with them and then they just never crack one of them open. So I got in some decent reading the first night we were there. And I woke up before my husband, so I decided to carry on doing some reading outside the following morning. So we're driving along to a part of the Sheepshead walk, but we just stopped here because of the view. It's like really pretty here, and there's something out in the water. We don't know what it is. We don't know if it's like an oyster farm or anything, but I'll show you. You can see over there. It's kind of cool. Well, so there's a boat there. Kind of looks like fencing. But how lovely is this view? There's another one down there as well. I'm not going to zoom in though. Seen one, seen them all. We are heading to the Turin turning point, which is part of Sheepshead Walk. Apparently, Sheepshead Walk is quite long. I think it's something like 93 kilometers. We're not planning on doing the walk, but we do want to go to a lighthouse. I think it's Sheepshead Lighthouse or something like that. And we'll drive as far as we can, and we'll just maybe take a walk from there and see what there is. But otherwise, I mean, look at this view. This view is magnificent. We have arrived here
at the sheepshead point where it's as far as you can go in a vehicle. And so we're going to walk from here. There is a lovely, like a little cafe, coffee shop. But I must admit, I was expecting cloud. I was expecting some sunshine. I was even expecting some wind. I was not expecting this. Mist. It is so misty, but it only got misty in the last couple of Ks. And there are benches outside the coffee shop, and what I would have imagined would have been such a lovely view. And now we don't get to see it. But anyway, so let's go see what this area has to offer. This map gave us 3 different walk options, all which went past the lighthouse. As we weren't intending on doing a long hike, we went for the shortest walk, which was just over 4 kilometers. The second shortest walk was just over 12 kilometers, and we definitely were not prepared for something that long. So we eventually found the lighthouse, which is a lot harder than what I thought, purely because it was a lot smaller than what I was expecting. And we needed to go down these stairs. However, there was one small little problem first. And then it was, down we go. There's another one. I managed to get a picture of the lighthouse from the cliff above, but it was very windy that day. So I was trying to also be cautious and not put myself in unnecessary danger. And then we carried on with the rest of the hike to complete our 4-kilometer loop.
lighthouse we came from. Poets Way. Oh, only 20 minutes back. Definitely.
Although we had encountered a lot of mud on this path, this was the first boggy marsh where there was no safe way around, and we had to step on large tufts of grass to try and get our way through. And as I discovered, not all tufts of grass were reliably safe.
Oh no.
Sick your booty.
So it happened. I fell in the mud. Don't actually know how to come right from this. Look at that!
And again. And run.
Ah, my other boot's getting dirty. Look. Look at my butt. I'm so glad I was holding my phone, or else my phone, which was in my back pocket. Oh my word. At least I wasn't wearing my other shoes. Look.
So thankfully, after my little mishap in the mud, I had my running shorts in the van. And I only brought these running shorts because I forgot my costume at home, and I thought just in case there's somewhere to go for a swim, I can go swimming in these. But I'm so grateful that I remembered, well, to bring these. The thought of going an hour in the van back to our accommodation in muddy shorts is just too much of a nightmare to comprehend. The only thing is I was wearing my other socks as well for the hiking. So I've got no socks, but I'm just so grateful at least for this. But so all is fun and games when you go hiking. We ended off our hike having lunch at the quaint little cafe which is located there, and I was even able to buy some produce on sale from a local farm, being some freshly laid farm eggs, potatoes, and raw honey for us to use for breakfast and dinner in our self-catering accommodation. For memories of our trip, I also bought this lovely picture of the peninsula to show where we walked. Hubby also spoiled me by buying me this beanie as a reminder of the great hike we had there. Thankfully, the weather had cleared up by the time our hike was done, and we were able to enjoy the magnificent view before heading back to our temporary home. Once back at our accommodation an hour later, I took a much-needed shower before we settled outside in the sunshine, enjoying a cup of coffee with rusks. Our host, Jonita, was so kind to offer to do a load of laundry with all my muddy clothing after she heard about my wallowing in the mud mishap earlier that day. Day 2 of our 5-day getaway. Though I don't think you can really count Monday and Friday, because on Monday we arrived here at 3 o'clock, so pretty much half the day's gone, and we just chilled the rest of the afternoon and the evening here. And Friday we'll be heading back. I think checkout's probably about 11 a.m. So it's 3 full days that we have here. And yesterday we had a lovely hike at Sheepshead. Went and saw the lighthouse, which I thought, being a lighthouse, like you just see it there. You'll be like hiking, you can just see the lighthouse. No, when you got there, you kind of had to walk a little bit around, and there was a small little lighthouse. I mean, it's just a unmanned, still new lighthouse, but it's just this little, it's probably just like a little room inside this lighthouse with this locked door. And then obviously I had my fall in the mud incident. That was quite funny. I don't know if it would have been as funny if I didn't just so happen to have a pair of my running shorts in the van, which I brought just in case we saw somewhere where we wanted to have a quick swim, because I forgot my costume at home. But instead it actually worked out quite well, because although where the walk was, it's like distance-wise, it's not that far away. Because of the roads, it's about an hour away. And I just couldn't imagine having to sit in muddied shorts for about an hour in the van. Anyway, so normally when we go on holiday, I've got everything planned. I plan the holiday, like where we go. I sort out all of that with regards to accommodation. I find us places. And then I know what the attractions are. So I will be like, today we need to go to this place, then tomorrow we'll go, here and there and whatnot. I know it does stress my husband out thinking about doing all of these activities when he might want to chill, but he does inevitably enjoy himself, as he's confirmed to me before. But this time, because I was just feeling so run down, I just didn't care. I was just like, I don't know really what's in this area, but let's just take it day by day and we can just decide what to do. And so far it's working out well for us. And so today our plans are just to go into the little town of Bantry, which might sound boring, but we drove through it and it looks really adorable. It looks like a lovely little town. We just want to go find somewhere to park the van, go look at the quaint little shops, maybe go for a walk along the harbour, have lunch somewhere, and then just come back. And that will be our day today. And that's all we really need. I've been super stressed, like at work. It's kind of mixed. I love my job, and yet it drives me crazy sometimes. Often. Obviously at home, having my mom and her husband live with us, that's been super stressful on me and stressful on my husband. Just trying to juggle finances with having extra people live with us and things like that. So we're just really wanting to just chill here and gather our thoughts, and hopefully we can just decompress a bit and then go back. I mean, the problems, not the problems, like just the various issues are still there. But just to go back and maybe just tackle them with a more relaxed mindset. I think the case is obviously when you're stressed, every little thing is a big thing. So I'm really hoping when we go back that the little things will be right size and they will look a lot smaller to us. And yeah, just to keep us going until maybe we do just get to a place where things are now flowing nicely and working nicely. So just waiting for hubby to get ready, and then we'll head off into town and go explore Bantry. I know in Bantry there is Bantry House, which is quite well known, but I don't think we're going to go there because they don't seem to have, like, I would like to tour the house, but they seem to only have like a season ticket, which includes touring the house. They don't have like a once-off fee just to tour the house once. It's like €50 for a season ticket each. And I'm like, I'm not paying €100 just so that we can have a season ticket and we're only going to use it to go tour the house once. And you can pay to tour the garden. I think it's, I can't remember, something like €16. But I don't want to pay €16 just to tour a garden. There's plenty of gardens I can tour for free. I want to go see the house. But so yeah, we'll probably just leave that. It's probably just also like overhyped. You know, a lot of these tourist destinations become well known for no other reason other than they're just well known. So we'll probably leave Bantry House and just to the town and see what we can see there and just relax and enjoy ourselves. So yeah, let's go have a look at Bantry. So we've been in Bantry now for about 5 hours. It's just after 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm not sure what 5 o'clock is. And it's been a great day. It's a lovely little town. I actually quite like it a lot. It's very interesting. It's got a lot of old worldliness and culture to it. It's got a great history with regards to a failed French invasion in 17 something. But it's been a lovely time. went to some secondhand shops here, and I really like the shops, the secondhand shops, because they're so different to South Africa. In South Africa, the secondhand shops, people really give like rubbishy things, and when you go into them, they just smell like old and mothballs and things like that. Whereas here in Ireland, you get really, really nice stuff. So I just love going into secondhand shops. So we've had a great walk around. My feet are quite sore. I think we have actually walked a couple of kilometers. We had lunch in a lovely little Turkish restaurant, and it was really nice. And so now we're here at the bay, Bantry Bay. That's Woody Island that you can see in the background there. There's also some historical reference to Woody Island. I'm not entirely sure what it is, so I'm not going to get into that with you. But otherwise, yeah, it was a great day, and I hope that you enjoyed seeing Bantry. So if you ever come to Ireland, then at least you know a bit more about Bantry town and the area here to come and visit. We are now on day 3 on our little trip, and we're making a mad rush out now to get to the ferry, because we are going to a little island traditionally called Ilnacullen, or it's officially Ilnacullen, but it's better known as Garnish Island or Garinish Island. It's just a short 15-minute ferry trip over to the island, and this island apparently is well known for having an unusual tropical kind of environment, because it's apparently like closed off from a lot of the worse weather elements that Ireland has to offer. And the original owner intended to build a mansion there apparently, and it's instead of a mansion they started like a little cottage or something, but we'll go have a look. And with the help of some Italian gardener, there's apparently it is a fairly small island, but it apparently has got a very nice Italian style garden on the island, so you can't actually stay on the island, you can just visit the island, and I think there is a coffee shop. So we are racing off now to catch the ferry and maybe see some seals on the way. And yeah, so we're heading off now.
on the island, and first things first, find a toilet. After our quick loo break, we got our bearings of the island from a map, grabbed a quick drink of water from the water fountain, and made our way directly to the house, which was lived in by the previous owners in the early 20th century.
Okay.
The first house tour was at 10:15, and we wanted to tour the house before going around the island. This proved to be a great decision as we ended up being the only 2 people on the first tour, giving us the whole place to ourselves. By the time we finished, there were about half a dozen people waiting outside for the next tour to start. The house definitely wasn't my style, however, it always fascinates me to see how people lived in the past. One thing you'll note in this video, which the island did not fail to deliver on, are the fantastic views that we found all around the island. Hey, kitty. Hey, little kitty.
Cat cam.
After the house tour, we did a walk around the walled garden before making our way up to the Martello Tower. This Martello Tower was apparently the very first Martello Tower ever built on the island of Ireland. super narrow. Oh, feeling dizzy now.
Once we got back, we first did a lovely walk around the Bay Area on an absolutely fantastic walkway. It was just too beautiful to not soak in the sights one last time before heading back to our cabin.
So it is now Friday. We're busy packing up. Doesn't look like it, does it? I promise you, this is a bit more packed up than what it was earlier. And we're going to be heading back to Newbridge. It has been lovely. I'm glad for the rest. I must admit, though, I do wish to have had one more full day here. There's still stuff I would like to have done. I don't regret what we have done. We took it very slow, had a very relaxed time, slept so well. Gee whiskers, every night slept so well. And yeah, so packing up now, heading back home, and one more week of leave left where I'll be spending it at home. And yeah, sad to leave, but all good things must come to an end. So time to finish packing and head for the hills. Literally. And so it was with the usual post-holiday blues that we packed up the van, left the cabin as neat as we found it, and took in the view one last time before hitting the road. Thank you for joining us on our trip down to County Cork. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, then please like and or subscribe for more content.